We are on live.
Yes, we are live. Uh, can you guys confirm me? Am I audible or not?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. We are from Bangladesh Fabric and Power BI user group, and we are going to start a new series called Different Business Domains, uh, Analytics using Power BI. And today's topics is basically field force analytics. So how we can analyze the field force people, how we can give them target, how we can achieve their target in efficient way. Today, Muhammad Rezaul Islam Royal will present how we can analyze this data, field force data. I'd like to request Rezaul Islam Royal to start his presentation. And thank you everyone for joining with us. Please stay connected with us. The session will be very insightful. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, Rizal Islam Royal.
Thank you, Abdul Alim, and thank you, everyone. I am really grateful you manage your time. So let's see how we can make your time valuable. Okay, so at first, let's understand about the field force, right? So field force, the frontline workers, but what we are exactly going to cover in this area. So first of all, we will understand the business domain problem, like which particular area our field force are currently using. Then what types of problems business generally face and how they solve the problem. And when the Power BI comes, how the Power BI gives the best output to the management or the owner of the companies to manage their field force or to increase the performance of the field force efficiently. Then we have a planning for next, and we will conduct a small Q&A session. Unfortunately, you are not able to directly speak, so write down your or thought questions in the chat box. We will try to answer your questions or thought. Okay, let's go to next. So let me make it present. Okay, so looks good, right? So generally, what happened with our current business scenario? Let's say our business produce some product, but to distribute this product or sell this product to the end user, which is our consumer or customer, right? So business are not directly able to send their or sell their products to the customer. So what they need exactly? They need some architecture or like the field force. So that's how the field force comes. Field force is especially the individual person, like someone who sells the items to the shop or end user or customer. So in this case, again, we have the same scenario, the business. Now our field force comes, which is the manpower, and they actually take the order from the shop. Then the order or the invoice, the order goes to the business, then they distribute the product to the shops. That's the system. But just take example, a business could have more than 500 or could be thousands of employees who are actually distributing products to the shops or end user, right? So what if a business could distribute their product the entire country? It could have different location. So there could be lots of people, so we need a hierarchy so that they can efficiently manage the people very efficiently. And also business needs to make profit, right? So they need to differentiate the target segment as well as the sales segment so that they can make some profit. So now let's go back to the field force focused. We are not going to discuss about the distribution works, how it works. Probably in future we will get some time and again conduct another session about how distribution works and Power BI again how make it beautiful. Okay, let's go next. Okay, so now at the first hand, we have the marketing head. So let's say that our business appointed a marketing head and asked him to make a sales of like 1,000. Okay, 1,000 USD. Then the marketing head actually not directly appoint, uh, not directly selling that item. So what he generally do? He will appoint two more film director, so district manager. So let's say the business now currently running only for two district, so he appoint two district manager. It's fine. Now the district manager appoint three more or three more regionals individually. So this regional manager actually is a small group of units people's head. They are maintaining a specific region, like it could be any particular zone or district or estate, or could be something, a small portions of area. So as I mentioned, this region manager has a smaller group of people team. The peoples are sales force, the salesman who actually take the order from the shop. Okay, so it could be vary, like it could be 4 to 5 to 10 or something more. Okay, so now the fact is like the salesperson directly take the order, and the salesperson reports to the regional manager. All the regional manager are reporting to their district manager. Then the district manager actually report to the marketing head, which is who is actually responsible to announcement the total sales in a particular time frame. It could be month, it could be day, or it could be a fiscal year or year. Okay, so this is the total hierarchy how the field force actually is working. So now let's have a look how these field force people are working in different areas or segment, like where we could find this field force people or this hierarchy. At the first hand, this field force hierarchy is fully common scenario in the sales and marketing department. So generally, whoever sells a particular item or service, they has a marketing or sales department and they has a field force. So like if you consider you have a office, then you have a field force. It could be a different scenario, but the hierarchy of the employees are same, right? Then you can find the exact common scenario in healthcare. Generally, this is so much common in here, like they have different hierarchies of people who take order, as well as the same scenario is available within the supply chain scenario, real estate, banking, and some other. There could be a lot more. So the idea is like if you just take the concept, understand the concept clearly, like how field forces work, you can easily understand how this business actually selling their items and managing their field force very efficiently and effectively. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, so now we are actually jumping to the Power BI desktop and going to develop some report. It's a sample preview. Probably we are not able to complete the total design or something. We will try our best, but this is the expected output that we could achieve. So initially we will do some summary analysis. Then we'll jump to the actionable insight, like how we could achieve or take some action based on the data we have. Okay, so do we have any questions, or then or like we could jump to the Power BI desktop? Abdul Alim, we have. Do we have any questions?
can go ahead. Till now, no questions.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe questions will come.
Okay, that's really fine. Okay, so I have a data set in here. As you can see, let me open these two data set. Okay, so this data set actually is prepared through ChatGPT. So if you find something is common, it's totally unexpected, but I'm sure anything will not be matched to any particular organization. So let's have a look what we exactly have in here. So this is the sales data set. So we have the data date which is representing a particular day. Now we have the salesperson ID. Okay, so we have few salesperson, right? So okay, then we have some product. So salesperson are selling individual some product, the unit price of the product and the quantity, like how much of the product he makes sales in a particular date. So now we need to take another understanding. So they are selling some products, but company needs to evaluate their performance, right? So how we are going to able to evaluate their performance? Definitely we need some target, right? So let's open the target data set. Let me make it zoom. Okay, I think everyone can see. Okay, so this is our target data set. As you can see, we have the cell person ID, which is the same as the sales table, as well as it has some target. So this target value actually is representing in a particular month, and individual salesperson is connected with the regional manager, and the regional manager actually is connected, uh, let me go to left, yeah, the district manager, and we have the name of the salesperson. That's all we have. So interesting fact is like our sales data are representing day basis, with the lowest granular level is the salesperson ID, but in the target segment, it's representing the monthly basis. Like every single month, the start of the day, company set the target for individual salesperson ID. Okay, that's all. So now we need to analyze this data with the help of Power BI desktops. Let's see how we can create the summary result, and at the end, how we can get some analytical or actionable insight so that business can take decision based on the performance. Okay, let's minimize this too. Open the Power BI desktop. Okay, so Power BI desktop will take around 1 minute, I think. Let me explain few more things in here. Again, we have a background image that this image actually we have created. We are going to use this one for our report design, as well as we have a calendar table. Okay, so this is the calendar table, so we are going to use it, and we have a list of measures that this measure actually we are going to use. Like it will going to be very difficult to write all the measures at the same time, but if we use this measure as the reference from our old file, that will be very easy. Okay, so our file is opened, and let's save it at first. Going to save it in my desktop. Fill for performance this. Okay, so our name of the Power BI file is fill for performance report. Now I'm going to connect this to data set. There is the data set. At first, let's get the cells. Okay, let's go to the Power Query editor. Okay, again, I'm going to get one more data set, which is the target, right? Let's get the target. Load. Okay, so let's rename the sales, daily sales data to sales, and field force monthly target as target. There you go. Now let's change the data type if needed. So this one is date is already done. Text is product ID text, unit price decimal is fine. Let's go to the target. District manager. Okay, salesperson name. Okay, year month. Year month is representing as the date, but we like to keep it as text. Replace current. And these are target values. All are numbered. That's fine. Okay, so now again we need to create another table which is the date, right? So let's create a blank query and open the advanced editor. And this is my calendar. Let's copy the entire all, replace, Control A, remove, Control V. There you go. So what it does actually, it takes the minimum date from the sales table, date column, and the maximum date from the sales table date column, and then create the entire calendar table based on some conditions for the individual columns. So you can use this get this calendar table from Razor Ads website. For now I think we are fine. Just let's go to the year month. It's fine. So again, we have some year month date. Let's make it short a little bit. Okay, so here let's make it ascending. Then let's go to find our month column. Okay, go to. Okay, I think here is the month name. Yeah. Then sort. Okay, where is sort by? Okay, so I will come back again. Let's load it first. Okay, then without any errors, our tables are loaded. There is the date data, sales data, and the target data for the sales. And the okay, let's go to the date. We do not change the month name, right? So there is the month name, and we need to make the sort in here, I think. So let's make month in ascending order, then month in sort by month. So it will help us to showcase the date based on in a sequence. Okay, so now let's go to the model view. We need to add the relationships, right? Let's make it. So we know that the sales data are representing by daily basis, so we can easily connect with day to do sales day with one manager one, which is the sales many, and date one. Save. Okay, so now again we have to create another relationships with salesperson ID to salesperson ID from sales to target so that we can get the target data for the individual salesperson. Okay, so let's move it and put it under on the top of the sales ID. So definitely this is going to create a many to many relationships, right? Because like a particular salesperson has a multiple sales ID in the sales table, as well as we have multiple months records in here, so it will be duplicated but in a different month. Sales ID and salesperson ID is now duplicated. It's fine for now. Let's okay. But again, we know that our targets are defined based on month, not daily basis. So to analyze this data by month, what we actually could do, we can again create a relationships between year month from date table, then year month from target table, and this time we are not going to make it active. This is also not allowed, right? Just create a inactive relationships. That's it. Okay. So now let's make it little save. Okay, fine. So for report perspective, right? So let's get back to our banner. Actually, the background image we have created. You can create on yours. So okay, okay. Then the transparency is 0. There you go. Now I am going to duplicate this one because I need another one more page. Okay. So again, what else we need? We need another table so that we can manage our measure very effectively. I am going to calling the name of the measure table is the measures and put a dot at the beginning so that it will keep always at the top of the tables list. And under curly bracket, let's keep it blank. Okay. So the measure table is created. Okay. Now we are going to create few visuals. So initially, let's bring our slicer. What we have currently, we have some field force data, right? So our field force data are in stored in the target table. Let's bring our the director, district manager at the head. So if you consider the hierarchy in here. So district manager is the first. Again, the district manager is the second, but we are skipping the department head, the marketing head, right? After all, he is the only one person, so there is no need to take it take him as a consideration. All data belongs to him. So now we are actually considering the district manager, then we will consider the regional manager, and finally we will get back to the sales person. Okay, and let's call it field force hierarchy, and I'm going to consider this is as a drop down. That's it. Now let's copy this one again and paste. So instead of using this employees hierarchy, I am going to bring the year and the month name so that I can actually filter by year and month. Again, the name needs to be changed, right? So it could be year, month. Let's see. Okay, we have the years. If you expand now, so as you can see, we have total 4 months data. Okay, and the current month also we have some current month data. That is good. So what next? what we could do, we could create some several measure because of like as you can see, we have sales quantity and the unit price. So if we multiply by unit price by quantity, we will get the sales price, right? So again, let's create another measure. So I'm not going to write, I'm just going to copy paste all my measures. It will make it faster. So in here I use sum x because it allows to multiply by row. Okay, now let's make it a card visual which is very suitable for representing singular data sales.
Before going to visual, we have a questions.
Yeah, please.
Sulaiman asks, what does it mean by root cause analysis? So, uh, can you please explain?
Okay, so like interesting question, Suleiman. So like to
Also,
find the
another
problem.
questions, Sulaiman have why we have to use date table in separate.
Okay, so that's a very excellent question. So let's comes to the table point of view. Okay, so like we could have multiple date columns within our tables. In here, if you noticed, we have a date columns in sales, and also we have relatively date columns in the year month. But now it's an example, or it's a dummy data, right? So what if you have 10 more tables where could be more than like 20 or something columns which representing date. So now it the developer will be confused, or some common columns will required every times. So it could be like month, fiscal year, day in a different format. That's why we keep maintain a single date table that will ensure the same column are not repeating multiple times, and we can use it effectively by just joining with other tables. I think you get the answer, right? Okay,
What does
so
it
now
mean by
let's
root cause analysis? If you can
okay,
uh,
so
give answer
okay,
also.
for root cause analysis perspective, let's create a decomposition tree. This tree visuals is very suitable to find the root cause. Okay, so like we want to analyze the data to find who is performing slow or relatively others to the low or high. So like definitely we are not just giving finding the problem, we could find the interesting fact like who is making the highest sales, so that we can give some reward to him, and it will motivate him as well as others to get to doing better for the next time. So let's analyze our sales in here. Okay, I am going to analyze our sales based on what? So I am going to analyze sales based on my district manager, because we have two district manager, right? Then regional manager, again we have few. Then let's bring the salesperson. Okay, fine. So what we could find here, we can easily split the sales data based on the district manager. Okay, now let's say that which district manager is making the highest one and the lowest one. If you see the district manager 2 actually making the highest among between sales, uh, the district manager 1. But again, my target is to find the problems who is actually performing very less, so that what I can achieve. Let's make back to the lower values for the district manager 1 who is performing very low. There you go. Do you see? This Sarah Henry is highlighted. That means within the district manager 1, the Sarah Henry is performing the lowest. So he is the guy who makes the company in loss. So we need to track his performance to find the cause why actually he is making the lowest amount of sales every month. So that is how we can just find the root cause. Again, this is not the exact solution because of we don't have any details amounts of data, but again we can just track down among, like we could have more than 30 salesperson. We just find a single person who is making the lowest amount of sales. Eventually we can get few more information in here. Let's say uh, we could get target or sales, but we do not create any target and sales measure yet, right? So let's create the target first. Let's create the target measure. Okay, so if you just check the measures in here, we use a function called use relationships between date table year month and calendar target tables year month. So these two columns are same, representing same data, so that we can establish a relationships between these two. And again, let's create another measure called achievement. It's nothing but it's a divided of sales by target, so that we will get the achievement. But the format will be the number. We need to represent this number as this percentage, so that it will show in a percentage format, the total number. Okay, so now what we can do, we can bring the target in the tooltip and also sales achievement in the tooltip. Let's see. Okay, so Sarah Henry actually making uh, it's she is making 74% sales, right? His target is 34,000 and makes a 25% k sales. If you see in here, we found some interesting in here. So this guy actually making the lowest amount of sales, but according to the achievement perspective, he makes the larger amount. He makes the achievement larger than the brown. So that is interesting. So again, we could say there will be some issues within our data or the Salesforce performance. We are not based on this. Actually, we are not able to analyze their fact very clearly. We need something more, which will be helpful. So again, let's let me get the details hierarchy. So this is how the root cause analysis is helping us to find the exact root of the problem. But eventually, from this root cause analysis, we are not able to take the proper decision. We just see, right, someone make the lowest amount of sales, but his or her sales achievement is quite high. So let's I think you got the answer. Again, we will get the answer how we could take proper decision from our data.
Yeah, thank
So
you, Abidal bhai. And thank you, Azmir Murad, for sharing the M code link. And there is another questions from Sanjit, who is asking why we created the calendar in Power Query rather than DEX.
okay,
Please answer.
so
And as we have time limitations, you can go fast with some other visuals. Yeah.
right. So let me go with faster. So for the reference perspective, we will share some research with you, so as well as the direct source link from the Razorite website, and also probably this version. Okay, so let's only bring the target and the second questions, like why we use the calendar table in the Power Query. So if you consider the performance perspective and the flexibility perspective, we can decide from where actually we will take the decision. So like if we calculate the calendar table in the backend, which is the Power Query, it will execute the all the operation in the backend and make the report faster. But again, if we just create the date table within Power BI desktop, or like by help of DAX, it will take some time to calculate. Like DAX is not um, it's not like one time execution. it will execute every time whenever you just open. Like for example, if I just move to this page to this page, it will again execute. Definitely it keeps some data in the cache memory, but again it will execute. The data time will be required. But once you loaded everything from the backend as the import, the execution time will be once, so it will not take time the next time whenever we you actually check the other pages. Okay, so let's go back to the sales achievement. There you go. I can check only for the month, current month. These numbers are a little bit high, so sorry, very big. Let's make it a small. Let's make it 10. Okay, fine. Okay, let's. There you go. What else we could do? We could create a. Whenever it comes to sales and target, everyone loves to have a God chart, right? Let's create a God chart. So God chart actually is expecting some values like target value. We already have the target. Let's put the target in target, and we want to analyze which one, the sales, right? Okay, so now we get the sales and target, but target are not representing in here. So what else we need? We need a maximum value, so that the maximum value should be more than the target value. So what could we achieve that? We could create another formula, which is like the target, x target. So let's again create a new measure. This measure is going to consider the 125% of the target. So like whatever the target, it will take the 125%. Yeah, based on the business scenario, we can actually change it. But for now, we are actually considering it's 125%. Okay, that's it. Again, we have only two district manager, right? So what if we can actually get the distribution of their performance, because they are the key holder, I think, in here. So district manager comes to here, and let's make it in a donut chart and sales. Fine. Okay. So now what else we can achieve? We could say something like, okay, so our data are performing what, 25% for current month. Let's go back to the last month, it's 82%. So someone could ask like, hey, our data, our target data actually is relying with our sales, or it's something else, right? So it could become, so like whenever someone takes that decision, like who is actually creating the target, so that they just randomly create the target, or just they find some patterns to set the target. So what we could do, we could get the target in the y axis, and sales in the x axis, and salesperson id or name, would be name will be fine, salesperson name as the value. So it's a scatter plot is representing by sales and target distribution, all the sales parts on them. But now we need to check the achievement perspective, like how they actually performing the achievement goals. So the achievement makes it and the size. Okay, so again, it's quite difficult to understand what's going on here. So let's go back to the analytics tab and open the ratio. This uptrend ratio is representing like that. We have a positive trend between sales and target and the achievements. So like they are actually setting a relevant amount of target for individual salespersons, and they are actually achieving that targets. That is really good for now. So again, what else we could do? We have one more larger hierarchy employees, who is the, let's say, who is the regional manager, right? So let's represent the region manager data. So region manager in x86. What else we can do? We can set with the column as the sales, column y axis as the sales. Okay, then we could show the target at the line. Okay, so the sort, let's make the sort by region manager. There you go. So now again you can see some region manager are close to the target, but someone is far beyond the target, right? Very informative, like who is actually making the target or not. Let's make the target a little bit red. We will again, if we get the time, we will again do the beautifications. So as of now, what if we consider the current scenario in here, we could actually say that our distribution or like the summary of the data are now closed enough. Now we get a high level overview of what we currently have in within our data. But again, these data are not suitable for the taking the decision. So we need to create something so that we can take the decision, right? So for actionable insight, what will comes first? We have to create another one measure so that we can check the month to date perspective. Let's again go back to the calculations. So let's calculate the month to date sales so that we can check in which month as of now how what is the sales amount. But again, our field force hierarchy, all the slide charts are the same, right? So let's make it sync for all page level, as well as the year is also in the next page. Okay. Oh, where is goes this one? There you go. So now we have the month to date sales. Let's make it this one. MTD sales, but we need again another one which is let's say get the date from here, date table, and on thing like whenever we have the calendar table. Okay, select date. We need to convert it as a date so that if we in future if you use the time intelligence function, it will work best. There you go. So now let's date in here x-axis. So now that month December is completed, that's how we get the all. Okay, so now if we hover my mouse, it's 10th January's data. There is go. Now we have to create another one more measure, which is we'll calculate the MTD target, right? So the MTD target is little bit difficult relatively sales because of we have the sales data by day basis, but we do not have target data by daily. It's in the monthly basis. So what we did in here, we take the total number of, we take the current days, then calculate how many days in here, and finally get the daily targets. Then we get the MTD targets by like total daily targets into multiply with the number of days actually in there. So MTD target. There you go. So now these two data are closed enough. So again, we could bring our cards in here. We could say month to date target, and another one is okay. So again, these are repeated could be. So let's bring something more. What else we could add? Create another measure, and this is our daily average sales. So now, as of now, what we have 10 days, right? So 10 days passed. Every day our company or like our field force are making some sales. So again we did some related calculation, get the total number of days, daily average sales. So they are on average making almost 18.5k sales. And what if we could consider like the daily average, what will be the target? Like you know that every day we have some target. It's a predefined target, but when it comes to the average target, the concept is little bit interesting in here. So let me give you the high level overview, the average target in here. So like we know that at the beginning of the month, the target and sales are like the MTD is at start sales are 20, target is the 23, and the sales is the 20. So daily average target this one. But if you see at the end, the gap is far big. So the target could be more than the beginning, because they every day they are not able to achieve some target, right? Every day they make some, um, I could say, unsuccessful to achieve the target. So again, what is the factor is in here? So when the days goes past, every day the remaining target amount are going to added the next day. So day by day, their targets, daily target should goes more and more. It could be something more than the start of the target dates, the beginning day. So if we just get the information in here, what we could get, daily sales
Basically, we're
required.
creating some complex formulas using DAX for MTD
Yeah,
to
so
get
like I
target.
know that like,
So,
I'm so sorry. So like this is
ho-
going to be
how we
complex.
can learn these types of complex DAX formulas from where, and how we can efficient these formulas.
Okay, so guys, I think learning these types of complex decks will take some time. But what you can do, you can practice from Dex guide. But you can keep your eyes open on our link, on our groups. You can post your thought, your problems within our group, so that we can solve it. Like we have lots of skilled people who are waiting to solve your problem. So you can post your problems within our group, and keep your eyes open. In future, like very soon, we will come with few more session. It could be only for DEX. So do you see in here, at the beginning we are making sales of 18.5 thousand, where our target is 23,000. Every day we are making some, we have some variance, right, between sales and target. So these remaining targets are again adding with the current target, and it goes just for passing 10 days, it goes 18 days to 26, which is quite higher. So now we could say they are getting difficult to achieve their target, because the daily sales required are getting bigger and bigger, while the initial sales is like only for initial target is only for 23, and now it's on goes to 26. I hope if the same pattern goes on, it will goes to, I could say, 30,000. So it's a quite high time to take the decision, so that the target amount will be relatively to the daily average sales, so that they can achieve their target 100%. That will be our goal. Okay, so what next? Now we can just show, so like, okay, this our daily sales, right? But we can check what will be our MTD sales in here. As of now, the sales value this, what will be our target, MTD target this. And again, what we could find, we could have a MTD achievement, right? Let's make it. So we don't create the MTD achievement file in here. Let's check. We have MTD achievement. I think this one. Okay. Let's create another measure. We are in very shortage of time, right?
Yeah, we have only 10 minutes left.
Okay, let's see how far we can go. Maybe I will take 1 or 2 minutes more,
We can go
or
for
five
Q&A
minutes.
session. So if you have any questions regarding this report or any common questions regarding Power BI or any
Yeah.
data analytics things, you can ask in the comment section. We'll go for Q&A session very soon.
Okay, so I have to create a parameter. It's on to 100. Okay, so let's make it fast. I think we can skip some part. Let's comes with the details table.
Yeah, we can share the report or any other resources we in
Yeah.
our different social media groups. I mean our community user groups, so they can get that.
So again, let's create the analytics with for the details hierarchy. So for the details hierarchy, what we could get, we have the, let's bring all these three, and in the column level, I like to have the year and month and month name. In the values, we have sales target, but for achievement, we need to come with the different calculation. Okay, so for achievement, let's make it another measure for achievement. So, okay, so this one is taking another parameters from our tables. Okay, so what we can do, we can go again, go back to the Power Query and click enter data, and in here actually we are going to create a custom table. We could actually create the table within our SQL files or like the database. Call this column as serial, then again another column is like segment, then serial is like one. So like we are want to filter like how our achievement is going to vary. It's like it could be, let's say, have another segment is 0 to 50, and another serial is 51 to 70, and another, let's make it serial, is 71 to 100. Let's, the serial 4 is 100 plus. From here actually we can justify who makes, or which employees are like, who is who which particular employee field ports are placed in which achievement segment. Achievement, let's name it. Where it goes. There you go. It takes time.
Meantime, we can answer some questions like Jahana Akhtar asked, what visualization methods are most effective for presenting MTD achievements? I mean, I think she is asking basically which visualization is perfect for showing MTD achievements or target achievements.
Which visuals? MTD.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so in this case, actually, you could use two visuals in as simple one, which is the card visuals. If you want to make it more informative, like you could use the KPI one, and like the MTD is generally used as a line set because they want to evaluate day by day. So that case, the area or line set is highly suitable one. If the end user prepared to check every day the performance how it goes ups and down.
The other questions, Fayaz Islam asks, almost similar, like for beginners, how we can like select the visuals for which types of measures or which types of values we can select which types of visuals.
Okay, so for beginners levels, I always recommend to use the default visuals from Power BI Desktop. At the initial stage, you don't have to go to the app store or get the any customized visual. It will slow down the performance. It will comes with some other problems. If some visuals could have some security issues or license issue, so just keep it simple
And
to
also
use
want to add
only.
something like
Yeah.
if anyone wants to show categorical data, like let's say they want to show district level or division level data, they can use the column and bar chart, and also if the categorical data is not more than 4 or 5, they can use pie chart or donut chart to show the total percentage. And definitely when it comes time related data, time series data, they can use line chart. And yeah, and also as you use the table or matrix for the details. So when you have to show all, more data in a single place, I mean the details data, you can use the matrix or table visuals. And yeah, and you have also other slicers or any other card visuals to slice them and show the, I mean, aggregated value, the card visuals. And currently we have some updates on different card visuals, so we can try that also.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Right, so we to our, so I think we can share our future plan,
Yeah. So
how we
we
can, yeah.
we need to check something in here. I think okay. So let's skip for now. Okay. So initially, what we did in here, just for a quick wrap up. So let's say these are the common tables. Like every particular month, we have the sales target and the achievement percentage. Okay. So achievement percentage are not showing in the percentage format. There you go. Do you see in here we have just sliced the percentage achievement in here? Like if I click the 0.05, is it working? Thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's working. So like it's only showing which particular employee's achievement is 0 to 5 per 0 to 50%, and like 50 to 70% these people's. And if you notice, this data are not showing because employees are not making any data. Again, we could apply a page level or filters to hide this data for 100. Yeah, I think we need to update a little bit, but Okay, so I think you get the idea. Due to the shortage of time, I'm not able to complete that part. So in here, actually, we take the proper insight, the decision in here. So like the regional manager needs to boost the performance or boost the employees' sales so that they can achieve the more sales and complete the target as close they could. Okay, so I think the time is gone. Now, okay, so I think let's go move to the next one or the future goal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for future goals, I like to invite you all. Like, I will share all the data set, the calendar, and probably the decks. Maybe you can try it. Then, if needed, we will try. We will share it to you. But try to write the decks, and after completing the report, whatever it could be, share it with us so that we can track your performance. Yeah, if needed, like someone wants to share the web links or the like survey service, probably in future we will allocate some license to you. Yeah, the allocating license will be difficult, but we will try our best to allocate some license to it. And again, within this month, we will try to conduct another session, probably at the end of the month. Stay connected. And here is our all the groups and social media's links. You can scan and get connected with us. Okay, any more questions, Abdullah?
We have already circled the questions, and I would like to request everyone to join with us in different social media groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook, LinkedIn, Microsoft community, whatever we have. Please join with us, and we will announce the next sessions very soon. And inshallah, we'll share all the resources. I mean, we'll try to share all the resources what we used in this report building, so you can also try with your yourself. And if you have any questions or any difficulties you will be facing, please drop your questions to our groups, so someone will solve your problem. And even if you have any questions related to Power BI, related to Fabric, you can uh, drop your questions in our group, so someone will answer definitely. So you don't have to go to Google or any other places though. So yeah, I think we can uh, collaborate ourselves to grow our community, Bangladesh Power BI and Fabric community in a bigger scale. Thank you everyone for joining with us. Hopefully we'll announce our next session very soon.
Yeah, and one more part, like if you guys someone wants to share something, some cool tips and tricks, you are welcome. Just let us know like what you like to share with us. We will allocate some time and create another event for you so that we can share our knowledge one to another and make our community big and our learning more effective and easier. Till then, have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.